So I have no doubt that many Jewish people, supporters of Israel, over the past year and a half, have felt deeply alienated, confused, perplexed at how there can be so much hatred and animosity, double standards towards the state of Israel and Jews, and how the mask of anti-Zionism slipping off to reveal itself as just anti-Semitism is becoming clearer and clearer. And we're seeing more people on the left and the right, and of course the radical Islamists, who have shown such hatred. And despite Israel's cause being so just, despite Israel launching more of a military precise operation than has ever been seen in the history of modern urban warfare, and they're accused of genocide, despite Israel having more of the Jewish people having more of a connection with their land of Israel than any people have with any connection of land. And what do we see? Just in the months after the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, The Economist has the headline, "Israel Alone." Many Jewish people have been feeling this sense of being alone, and everyone attacking Israel simply for protecting herself. I was really taken by this tweet by Meghan McCain, daughter of the late Senator John McCain. She said, "I'm so overwhelmed." She's not Jewish, by the way. She said, "I'm so overwhelmed by the amount of anti-Semitism I'm seeing all over the media, news, and this platform." Overwhelmed. It is really overwhelming on social media, by the way. This cancer is absolutely everywhere, and few are trying to stop it. I honestly cannot fathom what this daily experience is like for a Jewish person. Well, I'm here to tell you that contrary to how things may look, contrary to how things may seem, the Jewish people absolutely guaranteed 100% will survive, they will thrive, and more than that, they should know. And this is the message of the holiday of Purim, which we are on the brink of celebrating. The message of the holiday of Purim is clear. The whole world can be against the Jews, and God will side with the Jews. That's the message. The story of Purim is one where there was this evil viceroy of the Empire of Persia, the greatest empire at the time. He was the second most powerful politician in the land, second only in power to the king. And he decreed that all the Jews should be killed, and through a series of coincidences, he ended up being hung on the very gallows he planned to hang his Jewish arch enemy Mordecai. The Jews thrive, they survive, and the enemies of the Jews are destroyed. That is the story. And by the way, if you haven't already seen that incredible story, just in Israel's history, surrounded on all fronts. You know, in 1948 and 67, the Arab armies were multiple times the size of the Jewish one. And look what happened. Look what happened. So this message is so important. It's so essential to understanding, to anchoring every single Jew. As David Ben-Gurion himself, who was not particularly a religious man, but the first prime minister of Israel, he said, he recognized that he said, quote, "For a Jew to be a realist, he has to believe in miracles." This is the Jewish way, and this is what the holiday of Purim teaches us. And I wanted to read to you an excerpt from Rabbi Manis Friedman, who is YouTube's most popular rabbi. He came out with a new Purim booklet, which anyone can get online. It's a PDF, and I'll put the link to it in the video description. All you have to do is just click on the link, put in your, I think just a few details. There's no cost. It's completely free, and you'll get this wonderful short guide to Purim. It tells you about the laws of Purim, but much more about the philosophy and the ideas of Purim. And the message that the story of Purim is that we can have the world against us. God will side with the Jews. He will rescue the Jews. He is the God of Israel. That is the story of Purim. And I want to read to you how he elaborates on this idea. This is an excerpt from his booklet. He said, "There are actually 3 holidays that celebrate liberation: Pesach, Passover, Hanukkah, and Purim. Let's examine the three qualities that these three holidays bring out. Purim is redemption from attempted genocide, as we've discussed. Haman had no complaints about the Jews or what they were doing, he just wanted to wipe them all out. Passover celebrates freedom from slavery. Hanukkah commemorates redemption from violation, referring to the defilement of the Bet HaMikdash, the Jerusalem temple. The truth is that nothing has really changed in the world since those three events. Theoretically, there is nothing that would prevent a country from enslaving a population, particularly Jews, since we are still a minority. Nonetheless, by and large, we don't live in fear of being enslaved. As for violation of Israel's holiest places, we are often threatened. Regarding genocide, the same people who wanted to commit Jewish genocide in the days of Esther and Mordecai are still looking for it today, the Iranians. What's impressive is that we don't live in paralyzing fear of any of these three prospects. Part of the reason we have developed immunity to that fear is that we observe these three holidays. Far beyond only being a ritual or a memory, observing each holiday actually boosts our immune system, so we are capable of proceeding despite the ominous possibilities. Purim is amazing. The holiest day of the year is Yom Kippur, and Yom Kippur is sometimes called Yom Kippurim, which means a day like Purim. Not quite as holy, but almost as holy as Purim. What a revolutionary statement. On Yom Kippur, we're not allowed to eat, drink, carry, or do any work. These are forbidden because we have to be pure and holy like an angel. On Purim, we're not only allowed, but we are encouraged to eat, drink, do whatever you need to do. It's not a holy day in the same sense. Yet we're told that Yom Kippur is almost as great as Purim. What happened on Purim? There was a threat of genocide, annihilation. Nobody attacked our freedom or innocence. They simply didn't want us to exist. It made no difference if one was religious or not, politically involved or not. If your very existence is threatened, what is the antidote? The antidote to slavery is that you're in a state of freedom. The antidote to violation is your innate innocence. What is the antidote to the vulnerability of your very existence? With what do you fight back? The only way to survive genocide is by finding that which is greater than your existence. Obviously, you have to have something within yourself that is invulnerable and immortal. Haman said, "These people are mortal, let's kill them." He didn't succeed because we're not mortal. What does that mean? Where does our immortality come from? And what is it? On Yom Kippur, the objective is to recognize our own insignificance or mortality and ask God to give us life, because on our own, we're too mortal. It's not that we're afraid that we're going to be punished or killed for our sins. That's a very negative attitude about Yom Kippur, although it's popular. The objective on Yom Kippur is to get past yourself, because yourself is mortal. Here's how you get past yourself. Don't eat, don't drink, don't sleep, deny yourself even the comfort of a leather shoe. Forget about your physical needs and devote yourself entirely to something bigger than yourself. Spend the entire 26 hours in the synagogue relating to God beyond yourself. Beyond yourself, you're not vulnerable. On Purim, we do the same thing, but not by denying. We do it not by being overly serious, but rather with joy. Purim comes along with its message that you can get past all your needs happily, drink, eat, enjoy, and you're beyond yourself completely. We're told that we should get so happy on Purim that we don't know the difference between cursed is Haman and blessed is Mordecai. Why is that a virtue? Moreover, the whole story of Purim is that Mordecai is the good guy and Haman is the bad guy. How do you celebrate this? By not knowing? If you don't know the difference between good guys and bad guys, I can't trust you anymore. Hasidut provides the solution to this question. You don't confuse Mordecai and Haman. What you are meant to forget or not know is the difference between blessed and cursed. We think Haman is a bad guy because he's cursed, and we think Mordecai is a good guy because he's blessed. No, Mordecai is Mordecai and Haman is Haman. If there's any essential difference, even if there's no blessing or cursing, we know where our immunity, our immortality lies. It doesn't lie in being a good guy or not being a bad guy. It's beyond that. The Torah tells us something very interesting. If you look inside yourself, you'll find a certain amount of pain, frustration, and unfulfilled needs. But that's just inside, which is not deep enough. Go a little deeper. What will you discover? You'll discover that you have no needs at all. There's actually that place in us that really does not need anything. Not material, emotional, or spiritual things. Why is that so? Because we were created. We did not create ourselves. Why didn't I create myself? Why, when I was created, did I resist? I didn't ask to be born because I have no need to be born, and yet here I am. That tells me that somebody or something needs me to exist. If I could find that part within me, then I am stronger than me. I'm invulnerable. That is the antidote to genocide. You think you can kill me because I'm immortal? No, I'm not mortal because I didn't create myself. I exist because of something beyond me, and you can't kill that, so you can't kill me. Now we can understand what happened on Purim. For an entire year, from the decree until the time of Purim, the Jews in 127 countries, as they prepared for battle after Ahasuerus had given them permission to fight, lived by the fact that they had no needs. The events were all part of a bigger picture, and therefore their enemies could not kill them. They comprehended a crucial fact: the truest part of me is not me. This is vitally connected to the difference between Torah and science. Science examines what is. There are planets, so I try to understand. What do they do? What would things be like without this or that planet? People look at what exists and analyze it until they learn its nature. Science is obviously limited to what is. In contrast, the wisdom of Torah is not about what is. Torah is about before there was. Before creation, there was a plan and desire for a creation, and that is what brought about the creation. The wisdom of Torah tells us what went on before there was, and that which existed before there was cannot be destroyed. When we study Torah, particularly its inner dimension, we're basically trying to get in touch with that which preceded our own existence. That makes us invulnerable and immortal. Our existence is mortal, but we are connected to something that precedes our existence, and so we know we will always be here. All this provides us with great reassurance about the world that we live in. Our planet seems to be vulnerable because by its nature it is, but according to the purpose for which it exists, it will never be destroyed. After all, if you're the principal's kid and a little weak and meek, you are a target for bullying. But your father is the principal. Nobody's going to bully you. Thus we have two sides. What I am is very vulnerable, but nobody can mess with why I am. The Earth too is vulnerable, but as far as the Earth's purpose is concerned, it's not going anywhere. The Earth's purpose is eternal, which gives the existence of the Earth an element of eternity. The same is true of human beings. If it's just me, I'm very vulnerable and tiny, but it's not just me. Then the message of Purim is this: don't do the Yom Kippur thing. Don't get all dressed up in white and turn holy and spiritual like an angel. This is not the time for it. If you want to become more than human, go ahead and eat and drink and all, and be more than human. You're not going to get above yourself by denying your needs. Let Purim put you in touch with the part of you that has no needs. And since you have no needs, eat. On Purim, it's a mitzvah to eat, but not because you need it. That's why on Purim we discover that there's more to us than us. We actually experience what we want to be because we're not content being human. Some people ask, there was a holiday made for Hanukkah where we survived the attack of the Assyrians or Greeks. There's a holiday created for Purim because we survived Haman and the Persians. Why is there no holiday after the Holocaust? Some say it's because we haven't recuperated yet, and that maybe when the suffering finally ends we'll establish a holiday. But the correct answer is that celebrating the Purim is celebrating what happened. After all, the Holocaust shows that they can't kill us. It's more dramatic than Purim because on Purim there was one king who decided to eliminate Jews. During the Holocaust, it was the whole world. We thought maybe Switzerland was the exception, but no, they just had a different job, to hold the money. So the whole world decided the Jews have to go, but the Jews are not going. We don't need another holiday to celebrate the same virtue. The same power that saved us on Purim is what saved us from the Holocaust. After all, as a people, we are not mortal. On Purim, we have the opportunity, at least for one moment, to actually be fully human, which means not human, because the essence of a human being is that he doesn't want to be human. He doesn't want to have only what he was given. He wants to achieve something. On Purim, we can do that. Purim opens the gates of the quality that is the opposite of genocide, the opposite of mortality, the part of us that is bigger than us, and therefore cannot be killed. Go ahead, eat, drink. You're beyond it all. A beautiful excerpt from one of the chapters in this lovely Purim booklet from Rabbi Manis Friedman, and I want to just go back to that front page of The Economist that I showed at the beginning, and think about it one more time in light of what I just said. Because you know what? It says Israel's alone. The truth is, we've always been alone. And look how we have come through it all. I'm sorry, but if you cannot see the divine hand in human affairs when looking at Jewish history, then I think, in my humble opinion, you're being willfully blind to reality. What grounds the Jewish people is that our purpose that we have embraced, and is in fact the truth, is that the Jewish people are essential to the destiny of the world, which is for this world to become godly and for God's voice to be revealed through his people. Happy Purim, Purim Sameach.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.